Welcome back, good viewer. This is the Skyrider. Does the toad have mail for us? Extra lives, indeed. Yay! Mario, faraway place, blah blah blah. Give me my mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms. Tasty, tasty mushrooms. Excellent. Tasty. Okay, that'll be useful. Right, okay, my friends. Before I start, a very brief apology. I did already record this episode, but, like, through the quality of commentary and so on and so forth, I just wasn't happy with it. So I decided to re-record it. Problem is that I'd already saved at the end of that episode, so I had to go from my backup file and replay and what have you. It didn't take very long, you know, not too much of a problem. Let's go for Ghostly Galaxy and launch. But, you know, I still have the same number of stars, same number of starbits, etc. You know, no continuity errors there. Beware of Bouldergeist. The only thing that might be slightly different is coins. You know, high scores, in case anyone's, you know, deliberately looking for that sort of thing and is very, you know, very, very, very keen on looking for those sorts of continuity errors. But, you know, nothing of relevance is different. You know, according to the rules of the verses. You know, I have the same number of starbits, same number of stars, so, you know, just wanted to point all of that out. No, curse you, Keese. I know they're not actually Keese, but you know, for all intents and purposes they are. Okay, fine, we'll just jump over the spiders. Watch out for the chain jump. What on earth is that? This is a star of random starbit. Shower of starbits. Okay, no matter. So, here we have very funny enemies. You get Mario to grab their tongues and spin them around. Right round. Like a racket, baby. Like a record, baby. Right round, round, round. Why did I say racket? I know what I mean. Yes, these are boo bombs. They're boos that blow up. Bombs? Boos? Babomboos? Babomboos. That's what I'll call them. Don't care if that's the official name. That's what I'm going to call them. Okay, let's grab this. More starbits, excellent. Spam the A button, there we go. And here we go. I do like this background. You can see the spirits of Ghostly Galaxy in the background there. Ooh. Okay, jump on the spider, there we go. Ow, curse you, spider. Let's try that again, shall we? Well, got one of them, and got two of them. That's what I wanted. Good. Okay, and up we go. Ow. Blasted pumpkin goombas. Bane of my... Oh dear god. Bane of my let's play here. That's better. More starbits. So how is everyone doing? Doing today, doing recently, doing in general, my friends. How are you? Because I, for one, have not been feeling brilliant lately. Bouts of depression and so on and so forth. I'm feeling better today than I have been recently, which is nice. But yeah, like as sort of, you know, well, as I will frequently tell anybody, but anybody who sort of knows me will know, you know, that, like, although I am very confident in certain areas, in other areas my self-esteem is just completely through the floor. And, you know, so, like, hence why I wasn't feeling brilliant. Can I grab that from here? No, fine. We'll just go across, that's better. And there we go, and up, there we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah, so I basically, good viewer, haven't been feeling brilliant, have been, you know, feeling depressed and sort of, you know, bad self-esteem and what have you. You know, I'm sure people can empathise. I'm sure, you know, there are at least some of you who have been through that sort of thing. But basically, my point is that I just wanted to offer my thanks to some friends who helped me out. Yeah, some Let's Playing friends who helped me out of a bad spot the other night. Namely, navigate the maze. Launch, there we go. Namely, in no particular order, Kristen, Cuddle of Death, Frozen Train, Kelsey, Kelsey Chew, and Ashley, Ash Bear. My thanks to them. I appreciate what they did. I wanted to make that known. Right, not going to grab a power mushroom there because this is Bouldergeist, good viewer. And anyone who has played this game will know the infamous Daredevil mission involving Bouldergeist, which is very tricky to do. Or at least in my opinion it is. So my point being is that, I'm not going to use the power mushroom because I'm going to need to do this without getting hit at some point, so I may as well practice it now. Careful. Okay, hit the rocks to get rid of them. That's all rather useful. Now, good viewer, I have a story connected to this boss. Well, not so much connected to this boss, but connected to a boss that is similar to it. Because Tonsil of Doom! Because this boss reminds me a lot of the Bongo Bongo Beast from Ocarina of Time in the Shadow Temple. Basically because, Bouldergeist looks a hell of a lot like the Bongo Bongo Beast. And Hands of Death, Hands of Doom! It reminds me a lot, mainly because of the hands. And when I was a lot younger, I didn't have an N64 growing up. I only ever played the N64 round other people's houses, including my cousins, whenever I went up to see them. And they obviously had Ocarina of Time, as any sort of sane person would. And they told me when we were talking about Ocarina of Time, they told me about the Bongo Bongo Beast boss at the Shadow Temple. And they told me just the fact that the Bongo Bongo Beast is just stupidly difficult. He's really, really hard, because you've got all these things to do surrounding him. You've got to avoid the hands, you've got to use the Lens of Truth, you've got to try and hit the arrows at him in exactly the right place, and he's a really, really hard boss. So, if you ever play it, be on the lookout for him. And, so years later, when I eventually played it for myself, on the GameCube actually, I think it was. I got it when I first got the GameCube. I got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask can we get him? Yes! I'm doing rather well here, good viewer, I must say, if I do say so myself. Can we get him? Not quite. Yes! Nice! Of course, on the Daredevil run, I'm probably not going to be able to do it that well, knowing my luck. But yes, when I finally came to play Ocarina of Time on the GameCube, as it came with Mario Kart Double Dash along with Majora's Mask, I got to the Bongo Beast and I was like, okay, really hard boss incoming, be ready for it. Doodaloo, and, beat him first time. And I was like, really? That's it? That's the Bongo Bongo Beast? That's the infamous boss that was so difficult? Ding. I'm like, really? Okay, I mean, admittedly, they played it when they were a lot younger, and I was playing it, when I was, 15, 16, something like that. Or was it 14? When did I get my GameCube? Shouldn't have saved, oh well. I can't remember, but, where to now? Ghostly Galaxy again, why not? Let's do that Hidden Star. Launch! And I was like, that's it? Oh, that's, really rather easy. A very spooky sprint, once again. And, basically, it was just, the fact that, of the Bongo Bongo Beast being nowhere near as difficult as it was made out for me to be. Yeah, so, but, and so, Claire, God, I'm trying to make the simplest point in the world, and I'm hedging constantly. That was one reason I was unhappy with the last video. The amount of times I said as a hedge was just really, really ridiculous because of things I was trying to say and just couldn't express. Ha, take that, bat. Yeah, so basically, are there any bosses that have been really, really hyped up for you and in the end have actually been very easy for you? Good viewer. That's my comment question of the day. Spin the boo round. I like this level. It's a matter splatter level. I'm not sure why it's called that, but I know there's a mission, there's a galaxy later on. In one of the later galaxies, it's a 1-star galaxy. It's either the can we get it? Yes, just about. It's either it's either in no, not a wall jump. Okay, fine, we'll just get 1-star bit from that. Freaking heck! I was moving all over the place there. It's either in the engine room or in the garden. And it's you know, it's one of these disappearing floor levels, and I remember really liking that mission when I first played it, and I really like this mission as well, because, you know, it's like challenging. You know, it's a nicely designed challenge, I think. Because you have to do it at the rate that the game dictates. You can't like, I can't, you know, jump up to the next floor, because the next floor doesn't exist yet. So, like, even if I got here just as it spawned, I couldn't... Whoa. That's better. Grab the key. Screw the one up, because I don't want to waste time. Yeah, you have to do it at the pace that the floor dictates. Good. Yeah, so that's why I like it. You can't speed run it, if that makes sense. You can't sort of, you know, cheat it. And, like, there's nothing wrong with speed running as such. Excuse me. There's nothing wrong with speed running as such. I'll tell you what. Okay, right. Because we did it so well, we're going for the Daredevil Comet. Yes, I'm that much of a fool, because this Daredevil Comet is considered, unlike Top Maniac, unlike Top Maniac, is considered a very, very difficult Daredevil run to do. At least that's what I understand. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? What was I saying? Yeah, the thing I have about speed runs is, like, you know, trying to complete Mario 64 in, what is it, 1 hour 44 or something, or something like that. It's like, and like, you know, so I'm talking here in the context of versus, because, you know, there's nothing wrong with speed runs in and of themselves. But, like, for example, if one player is using, or, you know, even if both players in a versus are using speedrunning tactics, you know, so they're like skipping 95% of the level through an exploit or a cheat or something, or they're, you know, so basically doing things in a way that wasn't intended. To me, I disagree with that, because to me, I don't think that would be particularly interesting. You know, so you're watching two... Careful. You're watching two, come on. Hang on. Sorry, Gafir, I just need to concentrate for this bit. Come on. Come on. Come on, you bastard. Gotcha! Right in the tonsil. Take that for all the people who have suffered from tonsillitis. Not including myself, but my friends have, and it hurt them, you bastard. You bastard tonsil! I've got to stop saying right after I make some sort of joke. Or right after I do some sort of thing. Like that. But, like, to me, watching two players speedrun the frack out of something, and I mean really speedrun, you know, world record, so I'm talking world record sort of thing here, to me that wouldn't be very interesting, because it's like, okay, yes, I do not deny that it takes a great deal of skill to do something like that, but it's just not the way the game was meant to be played. And to me, careful. Fine, we'll get the other hand. Like, so, like, if one player in the versus, for example, was using, you know, the world-running speedrunning tactics, and the other player was just playing it, you know, well, but relatively normally, to me, that wouldn't be very interesting. Because, you know, I don't want to... Claire, I'm not explaining myself very well here. Shit, no. Whoa, that was close. Come on. Yes! Oh my god, I did it first time. I did the Daredevil run of Bouldergeist first time. Like a bouse. Wow. Sorry, good viewer, I know it's very arrogant of me to indulge in my own awesomeness, but still, I will, you know, for a boss that difficult, I will happily do so. Boom. I'm pleased with that. But what am I trying to say here? It's like, you know, a game like this, you know, the first time you play through it, you're not going to, you know, beat the world record. The second time, you're not going to. The third, the fourth, the fifth, you know, you'll certainly get very good at the game. What's this? Is this boy base? Yes, it is. We're going to do boy base, good viewer. You know, you're not going to beat the world record. You're only going to beat the world record by doing it, you know, repeatedly and very well. The floating fortress. Let's go. Doing it repeatedly and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And by that point, I think it's become sort of a task to an extent. Not really a game. It's more sort of it's a test. It's a real test of your skill. This isn't to say that you can't play the game as many, you know, loads and loads of times. I've done that with many games, and, you know, I still enjoy, you know, playing, rediscovering them and what have you for a different time. It's just, in terms of a versus, I don't think it would be very interesting, because, you know, doing a speed run, although it takes a hell of a lot of skill, I do not deny this, it's not the way the game was meant to be played. If you ask me, you know, you know, the designers of Mario 64 designed it to be an awesome game, certainly, but they didn't design it to be completed in, you know, under 2 hours and expect people to do it in under 2 hours. It just sort of it goes against the feel of things, is what I'm trying to say with you. You know, completing the first mission in 10 seconds, or in you know, X amount, or however, you know, long it takes the average very competent speedrunner to do that sort of thing. It goes against the feel of the game, in my humble opinion. Can I do this? Yes. He talks about speedrunning as he uses a speedrunning tactic, but. So that's slightly hypocritical of me, I suppose. But, you know, although I am doing this as a speedrun, and, you know, in the verses it's being done as a speedrun, it's not being done... It's still being done in a quote-unquote... No. Okay, this is going to be a bad turn of phrase. In a quote-unquote honourable way. Which is not to say that speedruns are dishonourable. I'll take it. I'll take it, Bullet Build. You want to destroy the thing for me and not chase me? That's fine. And we get the green star, good viewer. What do I mean by honourable? I mean, it goes against the spirit of things, I suppose is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
The secret of Boy Base. Boy Base? Boy Base? I don't know. Whatever you Yanks do in your pronunciation. Green Power Star, special power. Yes, we know this. Green Loom is about them. After all, they will transform into a Green Power Star someday. Excuse me. Right, now where? Let's see. Well, may as well do Boy Base again. Yes, the Green Power Stars are... You need those Green Power Stars to unlock the Trial Galaxies? I think that's what they're called. No, come on, Mario. Let's do the platforming right, shall we? Good man. The green power... Yeah, the Trial Galaxies, I believe they're called, which are basically the last stars you sort of attempt in the game and are just really very, very tricky to do. So, from the underside of the boy base, we go to the top side. Back into the floating fortress. Now, let's go. Well, yeah, what do I mean by honourable? It goes against the spirit of things, is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, nothing wrong with it. You know, if you want to do that, that's fine, and I have great respect for those who can, you know, do Mario 64 in under 2 hours. Because it takes a damn sight bit of skill to do that, damn sight more skill than I possess. Yeah, for me it wouldn't... And I don't even know why I'm talking about this, because, like, I find speedruns like that interesting to watch. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say, good viewer. I wouldn't like it in a versus context, because the skill levels would be uneven. Or it would seem uneven. You know, if one say, like, Donna was, for example, was just, you know, just ridiculously pro at this game. And, you know, like, speedrunning ridiculously pro, and, you know, possesses the world record, and so on and so forth. Where am I taking this guy? Taking him into the weight, which is, no, completely the wrong way. That's where it is. Okay, come on. That's it. Release the boy base, let it rise. Yeah, so say Donna is, you know, a world record holder or something, and Tyler is... and I pick out Tyler to be the bad guy again. Love you, Tyler, honest. And Tyler is, like, a good player, but not a world record holder. You know, Donna, regardless of how good Tyler would be, would thrash him. And, like, that wouldn't make for a very interesting versus. So I suppose, actually, if you just ignore all the crap that I've been spewing for the last 10 minutes, or however long it is, we'll go with 10 minutes, if you just ignore all that, and... basically, good viewer, what I'm trying to say is, I suppose, ultimately, is that a versus should be pretty even, in terms of the players playing. You know, the skill level should be of a par, because otherwise it's just boring, really. Now hang on, I know how to do this. Come on, that's how you sequence break that bit. That's what I'm trying to say, good viewer. Yes. Okay, ignore all the rambling that I've just done and how long it's taken me to get to this point. What I'm trying to say is this: versus. Right on the circle. Versus should be, in my view, the players should be of a similar skill level, and I would prefer to watch players who are of, you know, good skill, but not speedrunning world record holding skill. You know, so that the game still feels like it's being played. It's being played sort of the way it was meant to be played. Shit, that was close. I mean, I say this. I say, you know, the way it's meant to be played. I have no idea the way it's meant to be played. The way it's meant to be played is the way that you play it. But in a way that it still feels like you're playing a game and not trying to do a speedrun. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Where it still feels like you're playing a game and not doing it to try and break the world record. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I don't think even I know what I'm trying to say, good viewer, and I'm the one trying to say it. But then, as they say, what else is new? On another completely different note that I've been meaning to talk about this mission. This mission? I always say mission, not episode. No, bastard. Big help. Shut up, you robot, you. Stop trolling me, you fish. Another note I've been wanting to talk about, whilst failing at platforming, is the idea of PAX. And the things associated with PAX. Because, for those of you who don't know, Penny Arcade Expo is happening in Seattle? Yes, Seattle right now. Where, you know, a lot of Let's Players are. A lot of Let's Players, a lot of, you know, some people I know are at PAX right now. And, you know, that sort of, you know, it's things like PAX and things like that, you know, conventions and stuff, that make me not exactly regret living in the UK, but where I wish I could, you know, I wish I could go there, basically. Because, you know, Let's Playing is, you know, it's about two things in my view. It's about, obviously about the gaming, but also about, you know, the social aspect of it all, and the friends you make through doing it. You know, I've made quite a few friends through doing Let's Plays, and I hope to make more, because I love the social aspect of it. Even if I am somewhat of a socially inept fool myself, which I will freely admit, and has been said about me many times before, and I quite agree with them, because I am socially inept compared to my intelligence level, because I have developed my intelligence and not my... No, I couldn't do that, because in school I very much developed my intellectual faculties, but not so much my social faculties, so in that sense I'm kind of a bit Sheldon Coopery. Come on, grab all the star bits, Mario. Good man. And dive for the star. We got the Pokeball star! Everybody dance. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo. And so it would be really nice to be at PAX right now, and indeed to meet up with my fellow Let's Players, you know, from all four corners of the globe. Ooh, Galaxy Complete, excellent, yes, because those are the 2 stars you get from there. And yes, we have 5 or so minutes, so we've got time for one more. May as well make it the Beach Ball Secret Star. Why not? We've been doing the kitchen this level, this mission, this... I did it again! I did it fucking again, you moron! This episode, we've been doing it. Back into the secret undersea cavern. We've been doing that, so we may as well do the rest of the kitchen. Oh, skip the thing. Oh well. Other people skip the thing, so I'm skipping the thing, damn it. Like a rebel that I am. Fight to power. So yeah, because I just, you know, it would be really nice to meet up with my friends and, you know, meet them in real life and so forth, you know. I was talking about the people that helped me earlier, you know, they're just some of the people I'd like to meet. And, you know, that's... I do love this surfing. On the surface of the water with the shell, that's awesome. Okay, so we want to go this way, I believe. Is it this way? No. No, it's the other side, isn't it? Oh well, never mind. Easier to get over here. Okay, behind the waterfall. Is it? Yes, there it is. And into the star that launches us over to the other side. Onto this funny little bit. Introducing us, good viewer, or reintroducing us rather, to an enemy from Mario Sunshine. A highly irritating enemy in that game, but rather useful in this one. The Cataquack, good viewer. The Catapult Duck, as I used to call it. Where are you? Come on. Come on, Cataquack. Nice, Cataquack. Because, as anyone who's played this game or Sunshine will know, that's what the Cataquack does. It catapults you into the sky. And it looks like a duck, hence Catapult Duck. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales. Woo-hoo. Oh, damn. I'm one up. Ah, damn it. Hang on. Can I... What's that there for? Oh well. Can I catapult up to this? Yes! Okay. Tricky bit now. Come on, Cataquack. No, not there. Come on, Cataquack. Good, Cataquack. Over here. Follow the nice icy man. Round this corner. No. Cataquack. Bastard. Okay, let's try this again. Ow. Let's not do that, though. Bouncy, bouncy. Damn it, Mario! Stupid Cataquack follows you into the water. Ah, nose. Itchy nose. Again. Ah. But yeah, the social aspect of it, the social aspect of Let's Playing, you know, not what I meant to do. Come on, Cataquack. Good Cataquack. Follow the nice man. Come on, come on. Up we go. Gotcha! Ba-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Basically, good viewer, what I want to say is just how much I appreciate my friends that I made through this community. And wall kicking up waterfalls. Done. And I think that's a good opportunity to leave things there, good viewer. Oh, I should have saved. Oh well, I'll do that in a moment. In fact... No, actually, never mind. We'll do that later. I thought I had to feed that hungry Luma, but then remembered I'd already fed it. But yeah, just how much I appreciate my friends and all the friends I've made in this community, and like again, I thank the guys for helping me out. That's a good view. From feeling down the other night, and just that I hope to meet you all soon, really. Because as I said, this is as much about the social aspect of gaming as it is about gaming itself, which is awesome. Let it never be said about gamers that we are antisocial creatures, because as I've said before, that stereotype could not be more false. However, on that note, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Apologies for all the philosophical rambling that I did, but maybe you like that sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know anymore, good viewer. I just don't know. What was that, good viewer? Why, that was the sound of one hand clapping. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Skyrider. Farewell, until we meet again.